All right. I say we get this show on the road. It looks like I am dropping frames, but there is only so much I can do about that. As long as it's only that, I think I can live with it. Just gonna be a little bit choppy. Okay. Hopefully I'm not too loud, at the very least. Let me see if I can get these alerts to work real quick. Just need the link, I think. So hopefully that works. Hopefully that works. Alright. Things look to have... May need to reduce bitrate. I have, Warden. I have. I am not wired in with Ethernet. I am going only on Wi-Fi. Oh, they're smooth. Yeah, I had my stream open on my browser, and I just closed that and an extra YouTube tab I had open. So we'll see. I'm also going down from 60 FPS to 30 FPS. So we'll see how it works when I'm actually playing a game. But yeah. I'm gonna run a test alert real quick, just to see if it works or not. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and there's not much I'll do about it. At least not for now. Haven't streamed in months, so who knows. Okay, it worked. It worked. Just had to make sure it did. Alright. So that's that. Now let me launch the Final Fantasies 14. Ugh. It has been a while since I've last streamed. I've moved, I've done a couple interviews, I got a doctor's appointment coming up, I got a thing to grab stuff for my commencement coming up. I got a lot in the agenda. I got a lot coming on the agenda. I built a master grade kit, courtesy of Warden, the cutie patootie in chat. Which I thought about saving it for stream, building it on stream, but I don't have a good webcam for that. I don't got a good place to put it, so I was like, nah, I'll save it. Believe it or not, I was not planning on streaming today. I was just like, yesterday I was like, I think I don't want to stream, so I did testing earlier today and last night. So we're scuffed, but we're live. Okay, clear notifications from that, clear notifications from that, clear notifications from that. Okay. Just have to check before I commit real quick. Okay. All right, so we are now ready to go. So, where did we leave off? In the Hildibrand quest, the last time we played, Hard-Boiled and Hildibrand and us, we went to that one town that I cannot pronounce the name of for the life of me, and I always feel so silly. And we found out that the person that Hard-Boiled was chasing after knows that he's chasing after him. And there's all that jazz. And we're being followed around by one of those little, like, gem guys with the tiny little toothpick legs. And I've heard a theory that that's Hardboil's previous partner, like detective partner. Yeah, and Hardboiled was like cherish Nashu because she's your assistant, and my assistant died during a bad operation gone wrong, and all that jazz. So yeah, we'll see. I will say we'll see how good stream goes. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on like the frame rate and my connection to the servers and stuff. And if it does really good, I'll probably start streaming again more often. I do want to get an Ethernet cable though. I do want to have one so I can at the very least plug into my Wi-Fi extender. Because I'm on the other side of the house from the router. There is no way in hell I'm gonna be dragging a cord all the way through the house with 2 dogs, 3 cats, and a Roomba that occasionally goes around. But I can do the Wi-Fi extender. I had an Ethernet cable, but I guess during the move, it broke. So there's not much I can do about that. All right, let me switch. Oh God, I didn't get this set up. Oh God, the Scuff is real. There it is. Okay. Yep. Yep. Just doing some quick. Also upgraded my glam a little bit. This is my Picto glam. Kind of went for like a tribal-ish look. Yeah. It's either that one, maybe samurai would be good. I was going for kind of like a musketeer look, but everyone says I look like a pirate. So, yeah. I think I'm feeling more samurai today. Alright, hard-boiled. Let's get to this. A need for speed. Hard-boiled casts a resolute shadow beneath the unrelenting glare of True View's neon illumination. Quick, I was hoping you'd drop by. It took a bit of doing, but I was able to widen the crack I made in that storage device and yank out a couple new scraps of data. The first file just so happened to be a record of Carnelian's procedure. Seems the bastard's soul was poured into one of those clot-type monsters. They've got an annoying talent for mimicking shapes and faces, which is exactly what Carnelian took advantage of when he tricked us with his fake Kamaka. He's like, oh no, the idiots are here. Never fear, Inspector Hildibrand is here. 1 second, just clear my notifications. Don't want to accidentally miss something. Okay. Now, let me turn off vibrate and just go on to silent so you don't occasionally hear a bam bam. Okay. The other file I pulled that had datas on yet another monster fiend criminal. Monster-fied criminal, that's what he said. This muck was nabbed for repeated vehicular violations, riding his air-wheeler too fast, making reckless maneuvers, endangering others, that sort of thing. According to the data, he's running around in the body of a cactar now. Judging by what we've seen of that researcher's schemes, he'll have dispatched the prickly speed demon somewhere outside of the dome, but where? Rejoice, my good detective, for I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, come bearing the very direction you seek. Have it straight from the mouth of the real Kamaka, that an ambulatory cactus piloting a flying contraption was supposedly observed streaking through the sky on a southerly bearing. Alas, despite hastening to confirm the sighting, our intrepid sheriff arrived too late to see the needle-covered individual in question. The report was summarily dismissed as fanciful imaginations of inebriated townsfolk. The insistent chirp of veteran instincts nonetheless impelled me to investigate. Thus did my faithful assistant and I venture further south to question the colorful crowds of Tuli Yodel. Tuliolol. Yes. There to find sober witnesses eager to tell of an airborne succulent. They said it was moving at an incredible pace, set astride by a vehicle like the ones the mechanical invaders had ridden. It was last seen zipping past a dirigible before vanishing into the clouds to the south. Alexandria's soldiers ride on air wheelers, so unless there's another flying cat car out there somewhere, I think we have our man. Good work. He's like, yippee! I did something good. Almost too good, in fact. Over there, is that a new case I spy? Hardly had to bait the hook. They're the real deal, all right. Although, come to think of it, I don't know why anyone would bother impersonating either of them to begin with. Oh yeah, because the guy can shapeshift. And they're not exactly the best at doing their jobs. So, yeah. At least the lead seems solid enough, but if we're curious about catching this guy, we need an air wheeler of our own. Come on. There's a shop nearby that does custom jobs. No, it feels good to stream again. I just need to close a couple things. Okay. It feels good to be live again. I don't know how often I'll stream, but there are a couple games I haven't been playing that I've kind of been wanting to. I just haven't really had the motivation. But I might do it going forward. I might jump back in. This is the place. I used to be a regular here. I ain't been back in a while. Let's see if they still remember me. Well, well, look who the wind blew in. Manam, I've come for my steed. That battered old scrap heap, it's been rusting in my garage floor for so long, I doubt I could manage to... I doubt it could manage a slow trot, let alone a gallop. Happy to give it a tune-up if you've credits to burn, but I'll need you to supply some parts. New high-voltage battery and superconductor coil at a minimum. The chronometer's ticking. I'll see if I can't get my hands on a battery, but can I ask you to track down the coil? These soft-boiled dopes wouldn't know a suspension spring from an anti-gravity gimbal. But you, I could trust to find the right part without cracking under the pressure. I'm on it, detective. Sir, yes, sir. Hard-boiled seems desperate to get his air wheeler up and running, so I'll give you a tip. If you want coil quick like, then salvaging the rides of defective sentries are your best bet. I'll even lend you this handy gadget to help you out. Set off the distress signal on the west side of Old Alexandria, and you'll soon have some murderous mechanical company to dismantle for parts. I'll take these two along with me on the battery hunt. Good luck out there. Poke, poke. All right. Oh, we need to go far out there. Okay. And then we fly over to New Alexandria. Just realized this is a lot bigger than it used to be. I hope everybody's been good. Man, these guys are level 99. I'm not used to fighting at level anymore. Get over here, Rose. Alright. Distress beacon time. Alright. Return to solution. Oh, I wonder... I really hope my volume is good. I'm definitely going to watch this stream back and make some adjustments. Sounds alright. Thanks, Warden. I was like, is this a player or is this an NPC? Turns out it's an NPC. Where is this guy? Oh, he's inside? Oh, I don't know why. Well, get your hands on a coil. Aye, that should do the trick. Now, where did your mates run off to? Can't be that hard to find a store that sells batteries. You should probably head over to the Nexus Arcade and see what's keeping them. This is only going to be... Oh. They move... I forgot. Oh, did she just ask him out on a date? And, like, he was like, I'm sorry, I already got plans. That's cool. How's your date been, Warden? Everything looks to be doing good, which I'm happy about. Pretty sure working on finishing decals right now. Oh yeah, is that for the mobile armor for I can't remember the name of it. The one that's from Stardust's memory, or is it the unicorn? I can't remember. Where are they? There they are. Not still working on the unicorn. Yeah, I bet it's crazy. Because it's the one that, like, fully expands during the transformation sequence, right? Quick, any trouble picking up that coil? Nothing you couldn't handle, I'll wager. For the battery, I bought one easily enough. The problem was convincing the inspector and his gal to stick around after he caught a whiff of tantalizing familiarity. But I do have the decals for the Dendrobium. Yeah, because you have that one and built it, right? Or am I thinking of a different thing? Long story short, they wandered off and haven't come back. Suppose we ought to go looking for them, eh? Yeah, perfect grade unicorn Gundam perfectibility. LMAO. This guy. Oh my god. It's his dad, but in this reflection, that's crazy. Oh my god, it's a freaking zombie. It has everything and even had an expansion pack you could buy called the Divine Expansion or whatever. That's crazy. So anyone who's watching who's a little bit confused about what me and Warden are talking about, there's a Gundam called the Unicorn Gundam because it has like a single horn, while Gundams tend to have like a V on their head. But it has a transformation where the horn splits into two and becomes that V, and then like the arms get a little bit longer, the legs get a little bit longer, and his chest opens up a little bit, and it's kind of activating like a special kill mode thing. I did not get that. It had the fuel tanks, rocket launchers, missile pods, and shield gatlings. Good God, that's crazy. And so what I'm pretty sure what Warden is saying is that he's got the unicorn model that does expand, which from what I've heard is a little bit intense to build. Is that corpse? Is that a corpse? A smiling corpse? You needn't fret, Detective. This dapper zombie is an old acquaintance of mine. Allow me to introduce myself, good sir. I'm a member of the Gentle Dead Men, a disciple of Master Zombiebrand. I have been on the road seeking out new recruits from our merry moldering band. Said search is what brought me here into the midst of this unexpected yet most welcome reunion. I don't usually hold with necromancy, but he seems harmless enough. So are you done catching up? We've got a case to work on. In actual fact, our conversation was almost entirely case adjacent. Employing his nose for festering fellows, this gentle zombie traced the stench of necromantic decay to the very facility in which I once slumbered. Yes, I became fast friends with one of the reanimated researchers there. During the process of getting to know each other, he spoke briefly of the only person left alive after the incident. According to my new, carnal chum, all of the... Carnal? I don't know. All the lab workers perished when an accident resulted in the leakage of a highly toxic substance. All, that is, save for a single man who habitually wore a protective gas mask. Ads are going to start in 3 minutes. I will do my very best to pause when ads are going. More gas mask. Keshkai, I think. Keshkai is his name. He was second in charge after the overseer himself, yet disdained by his peers for as a condescending know-it-all. They did, however, grudgingly recognize his passion for his work. Even after devoting to a full day of official experiments, he would pour his remaining time and energy into some mysterious side project. And he was the sole surviving researcher. You say? Sounds like we finally have a name for our mastermind. Courtesy of the shambling undead, no less. No matter how many years I do this job, well, thanks for that. Glad to be of service. Now, if you'll excuse me, my new recruit and I have a cafe tour planned. So that fellow was honest to God's walking corpse, huh? I bet weird folks in my line of work, but do you always keep company with such oddballs? Believe it or not, yes. This is not necessarily the weirdest friend I've had. That was out of line. I reckon there are forces in this world you're better off not messing with. I have probably killed one or two of them. Anyway, let me make these parts back to Manam and get my wheeler repaired. Shouldn't take too long. I'll ride him back here to make sure he's running smoothly, and you can see the magnificent beast in all his glory. I think I am probably going to go BRB a little bit early, because I also have to use the bathroom. So, be right back. Okay, I return. Sorry if that was a little bit long of a wait. I had tacos for dinner and the tacos are fighting back. Alright, let's keep going. Detective Hardboiled seems somewhat nervous, excited to reclaim his pride and joy, perhaps. Who are you? I ask myself that question. That question every day. Oh my god, it looks like a horse. That's why he called it his steed. Hi, Sketch. Welcome in. Would you look at that? How have you been? I've been good, Sketch. I've had a lot going on. And I wasn't sure how streaming would go, but last night I was like watching Birdie and I was like, I kind of want to stream something tomorrow. And then Hildibrand, I realized the new quest was out, so I was like, let's see if I can get it to work. And it seems like everything's working good. But yeah, I got a lot going on and a lot coming up, so I'm just gonna stream when I got the time and when I got yippee! Hopefully that wasn't too loud. But yeah, I got a lot going on, a lot coming up. I'll probably be moving again sometime in the next 6 months, but we'll see how everything goes. But yeah, nice to see you, Sketch. It's been a while. What do you think, Quake? I call him the Night Stallion. He's a custom job built for yours truly, and has far too much horsepower for the average mook to handle. Night Stallion? Are you kidding me? That is the most over-the-top name ever. Anti-gravity capabilities are standard, but when it comes to ground speed, he's been tweaked to achieve the highest possible performance. The trick is to install quick heating motor coils. And there's nothing following him, nothing at all. Oh god, now I gotta check my my thing. Why are they messing around with it? It's nice to you too. Yeah. But won't the increased heat compromise the magnetic field's integrity, you ask? Well, that's a valid concern. Hotter drivetrain responds completely differently when you open up the throttle and get those filthy hands off my ride. I merely thought to enhance your beloved steed with the touch of Salamanderville. So you've had this amazing machine this whole time? Why haven't you been riding it until now? Ah, so fresh-faced and innocent, the spitting image of my assistant. He's gonna trauma dump on us. I'll never forget the day I hung up my spurs. It was right after I'd caught Carnelian. I've been simmering in thoughts of vengeance, fit to burst my shell at any moment. Hey man, what's this about horsepower? He's gonna trauma dump on us. It's really funny for some reason. Oh, there's the Akira slide. Why does he look like a fusion between Steven Seagal and Wesker? I can actually see it now. big house is too good for the likes of the Crime King. See you in hell, your majesty. Should have pulled the trigger when you had the chance. You've gone soft, hard-boiled. This flashback exceeds the legal length. Laced with illicit embellishments, no doubt. Wrap it up, Gumshoe. To cut to the chase, my assistant was avenged. Slinging the Crime King into the slammer took me off the boil, and writing cold just ain't my style. Now that Carnelian's on the streets again, it's time for me to get back in the saddle. They were saying the Cactar punk flew over Tully or whatever, then blew past the dirigibles on his way south, right? What kind of territory are we looking at? I'm pretty sure either the lots of big trees are there. Then let's make for this Yaktel's dirigible landing, or starting point. I'll take Night Stallion and meet you there. Why can't we ride bikes and shit in Solution 9? It would make it so much better. The city is so big and we can't ride mounts, so it takes forever to get anywhere. Meteorites and meteor wrongs. Oh my god. Hildibrand is eager to take to the air. Right, we shall find our way to this cocktail dirigible landing. See you there. I'm pretty sure it was Yak's tail, Inspector. Actually, it's Yak tail. Yak tall. How they messed me up. I'm blaming them. Warden is here. Found him. There he is. There he goes. Look at that loser. Look at that coward. Oh. How have you been, Sketchy? I don't think I've asked you that yet. Ooh, I got the Monster Hunter one. I like this guy. I was like, there's no way he's not here. I've been in this cutscene for so long. Oh, you made it. Even this jaded old gumshoe has to appreciate that view coming in over the treetops. Anyway, I've talked to the locals while waiting for you lot to arrive, and one fella has seen Mr. Cactar flying down the lower forests. I'm good, busy, lots of work. Game almost good to play test. Got into #1 college transfer and move in August. Oh, nice. Good for you, dude. Good for you. That's why I've not been in many streams right now. Yeah, dude. I totally get it. You got a lot going on your plate. Dude, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you, dude. I hope the move goes smooth. I'm told the biggest place out that way is a settlement called Mamuk. So that'll be our next destination. Let's head over there, walk the streets, ask some questions, you know, the usual. Very good, detective, but what comes of our wanderous wheeler? Night Stallion would draw more attention than I'd like. I'll use the autopilot function to call him if I need him, but otherwise, I'll make do with my own 2 feet. We're going. I'm just gonna teleport. One of the things that's been going on is I've been pursuing getting a teaching credential, and there's a lot of steps to it, and you know, tests you gotta do, things you gotta get done. But I went to a college that I want to get my credential at, and I did an interview there a week or two back. Which, if you noticed, I was gone, like on the Discord, and like not modding in Birdie's chat very often. Like that was the week I was gone because I was visiting family who happened to live close to that college. But I think the interview went well. We'll figure out if I get in later at March or not. And then even then, I don't know if I'll go because there's some other options, and the schedule for that credential program is intense. So, yeah. But we ain't got time to admire the architecture, spread out, and find someone who's clapped eyes on that cactar. Unfortunately, I have been spoiled a little bit on the cactar. Best of luck, man. Thanks, Sketch. Yeah, I really want to go to that university in particular because I want to end up moving there. The thing with teaching credentials is they place you at schools, like when you're doing student teaching and stuff. So when you're still learning to be a teacher, you get paired up with a veteran teacher or somebody who's like an actual like employed teacher, and then they'll kind of work with you and show you the ropes. And then as time goes on, you'll like do like teaching one part of the lesson to doing an entire lesson, or taking the reins and teaching the class. And that helps because then when you got your credential, you can go back to the schools you student taught at and be like, hey, could you please hire me? You know who I am, you know I do good, all that stuff. Where I was at the previous college I was at, is a district I do not want to teach at. I hate that city. I do not want to teach there. So the city I was visiting, I want to teach up there, and I like the area better, and I want to move up there, and that's the game plan. It's just everything's expensive, and I don't got much money. Rent prices and all that shit sucks. It's like, depending on where you're going, it's like 1.5 to 2K to even 3K for your studio apartment. Because it's a college town, so they got, you know, the demand, so they can charge whatever the hell they want. But yes, I did see an unusual creature riding a strange vehicle through the forest at breakneck speeds. The vehicle's terrible noise is what first drew my attention, followed by the incomprehensible yelling of its pilot. Yet the sight of this posturing man-plant was so absurd, I found myself more bemused than frightened. Thank you, thank you. No telling in which direction it was going? That would be helpful. Alright. Mount Roulette, what do I get? Oh, I get the dog. I also played some D&D while I was down there. It was pretty cool. I played a monk named Doug who liked to give hugs. Ah, the subject of recent gossip. I crossed paths with the creature myself, and it was indeed odd, but the machine it rode upon was a true wonder. He pulled up alongside me in my wyver, challenged us to a race, then zoomed off with astounding swiftness. If you're planning on catching that fiend, you'll need an equally miraculous mount. Doug gives hug. Doug gives hug. Me am Doug. It was kind of like that. It was funny because he was actually, like, very educated before he became a monk. He was like an archaeologist. And then some rich guy. Like, this is like the background I created for him mid-session because he was a one-off character, so I wasn't really giving him much to work with. And then that like noble broke like some pottery or something. And then after that, he became a monk and beat the crap out of the guy who broke the thing. But I think like the way I voiced him was I was like, my name's Doug. I like to hug. I was trying to go for that like that one guy from Frozen, the merchant who they'd go into, and he goes, big summer blowout or something like that, like going for kind of like a Swedish type of accent or something. But yeah, it was really fun. We didn't get into any fights, which I was fine with. It ended up being a big like RP session for the players, and I'm just a one-off person joining in, so it was whatever. Yeah, it was cool. I had fun. Yes, I've encountered the fiend you've described. The forest has its share of fantastical creatures, but this one was undeniably out of place. I observed it smashing one of the giant meteorites with a club, then racing away with the broken pieces. Think of that what you will. Does anyone have a bearing for me? Anyone at all? Can anyone tell me which direction I'm supposed to be going? So, what's the rap? Many people have seen it, but none of them actually have a bearing. The testimonies I gathered were much the same. There's a cactuar racing around out there, that much can be certain. But no one has a bearing. 1 second, I got an iPad that I'm trying to move to a better spot because it needs to charge. Here we go. But if he's making stops to bag meteorite fragments, then this ain't no simple joyride. Talk to me quick, something about these rocks I ought to know? I can't remember. I'm gonna be honest, I can't remember. Some kind of special etheric radiation, eh? We haven't pieced together Kai's big plan yet, but he seems real interested in those space stones. Which means we've got a good chance of finding the spiky goon by staking out the spots where the meteorites are. If we nab the cactuar, we can make him lead us to the researcher and to Carnelian. When I say us, I mean me and Nightstein, of course. Once we find him, the rest of you won't be giving chase without an air-wheeler. I need no such contrivance. These lakes have been conditioned by an intensive chocobo-bearing exercise regimen. Well, good luck to them. Still think he's a weak-willed punk, but I can't deny that uncanny body of his is made of sterner stuff. Let's get on with it. I hear there's a few good-sized meteorites alongside the road that leads out of town. We'll start at the near end and hope the Mook puts in an appearance. Okay. Ugh, there we go. I think at the end of stream, I might put up a couple, might put up a poll of what game I should stream. Because there's a couple I've been looking at, but I don't know what to stream specifically. No wheeler riding cactuar around here. Let's move on. Ugh, that idiot inspector took off like he had the case all sewn up, but running fast didn't find him any leads, did it? Here I thought he was onto something. That way, Nashu, I think I may be onto something. We're going deep in the jungle. No sign of him here either. On to the next meteorite. I detect a hint of criminality in that direction. Onwards, Nashu. We mustn't let that detective beat us to the punch. Oh, why'd I get this one? I don't like this one. Ugh. Look out and stand aside, or it's 1,000 needles in your hide. Make for the unmatchable, uncatchable Spike. Spike. This one looks ripe for the smashing. Real quick. Okay. I need that for a thumbnail. Hold it right there. I'm gonna need you to hop off that air wheeler. Huh? You must be the blowhards I've been warned about. You think you could give me orders to the... You think you could give orders to the succulent speedster? My ride is maxed out with black market mods. There ain't no one faster. Keep up if you can, slowpokes. That's the way it's gotta be. Challenge accepted. To me, Night Stallion, it's time to burn rubber. That was a very good... Oh my god. I'm right behind you! And I'm right behind you, Inspector. These are some really good shots. Remember to hydrate, people. Yeah. But the stallion's at full gallop and I'm still trailing? Would seem you require my assistance after all. Hi, Beats. And yes, I am doing the new Hildibrand stuff. But you caught up to me on foot. Fine, change it. Where's my damn python? I'll just tweak the weapon's elemental settings like so. With you steering and me providing the thrust, that fiend will soon learn a harsh lesson. Nothing outruns a fired up Manderville man. How you been doing, Beats? Oh my god. Pretty good relaxed day today. Normally Wednesdays are stressful. I'm happy you're having a relaxed day. Are they actually gaining on me? Come on then. I feel the needle for speed. I was disappointed it wasn't the needle for Speedle. Yeah. We did it. Victory is ours. No. There was something. There was something about Spike just kind of staring in silence. I can't believe it. My undefeated record. My legendary win streak. It's over. And yet, I feel strangely content. Feet in the air, as always. Team Rocket style. Enough, you win. Just hand me over to the coppers and be done with it. This went... I'm a little surprised. Not gonna lie, I was expecting a little bit more. So the researcher forced you to work for him, like he did with the other fiends? That's right, told me to smash and grab meteorites from the forest, but not what he wanted them for. All this way to nab some delinquent goon and no leads on Keshkai or Carnelian to show for it? Not to mention my beautiful ride getting trashed. That one's on you, Hildibrand. Perhaps we could try running together next time. So if you're looking for Keshkai, I know exactly where he'll be, waiting for my meteorite delivery over by the cliff southwest of here. Why didn't we ask that earlier? Why didn't you say that sooner? I bet Carnelian is there with him. You won't escape me this time. I'll leave this criminal cactuar in your custody. Fiendish appearance aside, 'tis a man's soul within, so please treat him accordingly. Now, let us follow the detective to these cliffs, shall we? I must ensure these villains are served a gentleman's justice. I'm convinced. I've heard so many theories that the little guy that's following us around, the little bug, is actually Hardboil's uh, assistant. I got the little ghost dude. Where am I? Oh, I am over here. It really is good to be streaming again. It's been so long. I didn't realize I was gonna miss it as much as I did until I hit the live button today. I need to figure out when and what to stream. I get that so hard. Oh, Sketch, I meant to ask. I heard that the siege of Cyberstan was an absolute shit show and was a nightmare. Is that true? But, like, it was fun. I heard it was, like, fun, but, like, an absolute nightmare during the siege. I don't really play Helldivers that much. It was a wonderful nightmare. Yeah, I've seen a lot of really funny clips. But I don't really play Helldivers that much anymore. But yeah, I know you play, so I was curious. I'm sad it's over. I'm actually kind of proud. I'm kind of happy that the studio was like had the Helldivers actually have a loss, like a for realsies loss of, okay, we failed. Time to pull back. Time to evacuate troops from Cyberstan. Shh, I can hear them just ahead. Let me get the drop on them before we go barging in. He's late. We must assume something went wrong. Yeah, we need to start losing more, to be honest. The fans are getting way too complacent and blew up after we lost. Yeah, I heard, that was a whole video essays about whose fault it was that we lost. Oh god, it's the bug divers versus bot divers versus, I don't know, squid divers thing again, isn't it? These meteorites will provide the perfect energy source, and I would prefer to build up, to harvest a surplus. But it's too great a risk to linger here. So much worse than before, too. Oh, great. Freeze, mage! You so much as twitch your lips and I'll light you up. No! I've worked too hard to give up now. We just let him go? He's getting away. He'll keep. I've got the one I want. But don't think I'm taking you in just so you can escape. Never again. Murder is not the answer, detective. Oh my god. He ate Hildibrand. Where did Carnelian go? You almost had me, if not for this bumbling fool you tolerate, soft as ever. Oh, he's about to let him have it. You and me are done, Hildibrand. Stay out of my way. Wow. I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting him to, like, blow up. That's almost worse. My recent inadequacies as an inspector appear to have earned the detective's ire. I don't know, man. Twas you he turned to for assistance in with this case, Quake. It's only fitting that you remain at his side for the duration. Meanwhile, Nashu and I shall persist with our independent inquiries. The bitterness that comes from not growing up with Godbert as an example. Oh, yeah. He doesn't have the whimsy. Sorry for the sudden exit back there, but that yoke for brains had me steaming. But you gotta have faith! Hildibrand only wants to help. That's the problem. His help ain't nothing but a hindrance. The love of... I see you sulking over there, soft-boiled. Isn't this a delightful spot of serendipity? We were simply following the villain's trail, and look how we've all run into each other, completely by chance. Well, we were only passing through. We were only passing through after all. We shall apprehend that mastermind with our own tried and true methodology. You shall see. Quick, I want you on the case with me from here on out. When it comes to a proper guide beyond the dome, as well as being tougher than yours truly, none else fits the bill. You might need to cool your heels for a bit while I work on salvaging more data. A hard-boiled always gets his files in the end. See you around. Nice. That was a lot shorter than I expected it to be, I'm not gonna lie. Meanwhile, elsewhere. Okay, this looks like a boss fight. Oh, that's a boss arena. That is so clearly a boss arena. At long last, my scheme has come to fruition. No longer must I endure the company of incompetent colleagues. All is in readiness. The replication of my brilliant mind is at hand. Never again will I be known as the Kani Loka's Corpus's second best. My name shall ring across the lands, carried far and wide by an army of unrivaled geniuses. Something amusing? Oh, just the fact that you've repaired a device capable of miracles, yet your plans for it are so very banal. You dare mock me? He's gonna kill you, dude. He fucking used flare on him? Wow. What a bore he was. Now to realize a dream worthy of his marvelous technology, you gotta fight with flare. I don't know what I was expecting. I'll be honest. Oh my god, it's the alien. The kind of hard-boiled, they call me. Cool as and tough as cucumber wrapped in old leather. I'm a man who prefers his own company. Today's egg was overdone. I let the pot boil and boil, a match to my mood. They say you can't make a cracked shell whole again, but maybe it's time I smashed it completely. Core, those are some troubling thoughts. Can anyone save Detective Hardboiled from himself? I bet the inspector can. With us on the case, a happy ending is never far away. I would have liked it to be longer, but I always prefer good and short over bad and long for this sort of thing. Yeah, I agree. I the last couple ones, if I'm being honest, the last couple chapters, I think maybe the second part of the hard-boiled one, I felt like it dragged on a lot. And so it's something I've noticed recently that some of the games I've been playing, they're doing like story-wise, they're doing shorter, more like tightly written stuff. And I really appreciate that because I'm tired of like playing for like 5 or 6 hours of something that like drags on beyond belief. Rather than something that that's just good quality. I'd Warden. Have you done any of the new variant dungeon? I haven't, and if I do, I think it will probably be off stream. I heard that the rewards weren't very good, but yeah. I think. Let me check something real quick. Okay, I want to do this vote now because I want to have an idea. Is Warden gonna dance for us? Oh yeah, he dancing. He dancing for us. All right, so I want to start streaming a little bit more often. So I think what I'm going to do is come up with a few games or like pick a game series that or just like a game. I don't know why I'm saying game series. Um um let's see, what was the other one I was gonna do? Then it was this one. All right, so there. We got the poll going. Hades, Red Dead Redemption 2, Another Crab's Treasure, and Dredge. Those are the games that I kind of have on the radar to stream more of, or just to stream in general. Oh my god. This is awesome. I was not expecting this to be how the stream would end. Where's my clap? Oh, we have a tie. Alright, you know what? I am... Alright, I have not much around. I'm not around much, so go with Hades. Did you vote, Pete's? Or... I left for 5 minutes. What the hell happened? We finished the Hildibrand stuff. Voted for Dredge. Alright. I'm gonna roll a d20. If it's 10, if it's 11 or higher, it's Hades. If it's 10 or lower, it's Dredge. It is 2, so we'll be doing Dredge next time I stream. Alrighty. I think that is probably going to be where I... No! That's probably going to be where I end for today, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have us raid the amazing Bellsprout. She, I think, is doing ASMR right now. Let me double check. My stream's going to get a little bit laggy real quick, though. Yes, she is doing ASMR. Something to relax with, end our night off on some relaxing stuff. This should be it. There we go. Demo for the next game, Alabaster Dawn, from the makers of Crosscode came out. Please let Tabby know. It looks fantastic. I will. You know what? I'll screenshot this right now and send it to her. That way she is in the know. All right. Let me get the raid going. Oh, she's doing hand cam too. All right, so next time I stream, I'm not entirely sure when. It might be sometime during the weekend. But when I do, it will be, and I was left alone and forgotten. I will be playing Dredge. I don't know anything about it, other than there might be some Lovecraftian stuff that you're fishing up. But yeah, thanks for joining, everybody. It was a lot of fun to get back to streaming. I would say I would stream next Wednesday, but next Wednesday I gotta drive like 2 or 3 hours. Like total. Like 1 hour there, 1 hour back to get stuff for like graduation things, like commencement. You know, like buy all the tassels and stuff, and that God knows how expensive that's gonna be. So I might not have the energy to stream. If I do, I'll probably stream maybe around the same time. But anyway, see you all around, and I hope you all have an amazing rest of your night. Bye-bye!